Welcome back out to the shop. My name is Mark. This is the Malarkey Taylor channel, and this is the Betsy Ross Jeep. Tonight we're just checking in on the Betsy Ross. We have made very little progress. Part of that is because I need to drive it to get the readiness monitors set. So we're going to check in on that real quick to see where we are in the process. And we're still having some weirdness with these back brakes, so I'm going to pull them apart again, try a few things to get them solved. Just trying to get it to pass inspection at this point. So I've been driving it. You can see there's some dirt on the fender. Yeah, that's right. I haven't quite, don't tell my brother. Phil, if you're watching, you didn't see that. But we're going to check the readiness monitors. We're going to pull this tire off and take a look at the back brakes again. And here we go. Alright, so what we're looking to do here is the readiness monitors. And this is going to tell us what the, maybe if we go in the car, maybe that'll work. Can you guys see that? There we go. Alright, so this is the readiness monitors. It's telling us the things that it's monitoring to be able to tell the emissions computer whether or not this engine and Jeep is functioning properly. So here's what we have. This is Sense DTC is cleared, so the engine light status is off, the misfire monitoring is okay, the fuel system is okay, the comprehensive component monitoring is okay, the catalyst monitoring is incomplete, and the heated catalyst monitoring is not applicable. Evaporative system is okay, secondary air system NA, oxygen sensor is okay. Oxygen sensor heater monitoring is okay. EGR is non-existent. So the only thing we have incomplete is the catalyst. So the catalyst system is the system on these Jeeps that often doesn't pass inspections. So I had that set. I had that set before I disconnected the battery in our last video. So I'm really close. I think I'm going to be able to get it. I just have to drive it some more. Overall, we have probably, I think it's about 120, maybe 130 miles on it since we started driving it again. I should be able to get this set with maybe another 10 to 15 miles of driving. There's a certain sequence you have to go through. I don't know which one's missing. I think it might be the long drive, which is like 15 minutes at highway speed. I've been driving it to and from work, so I don't get that that long 15 minutes at a steady speed. So I might have to take it for a rip down the expressway or just try to find a spot where I can just drive for 10-15 minutes, turn around, come back, and have that might be enough to get it set. So we're getting really close. All the other monitors are good to go. So all it's got, I got to get that one to clear, and then I'm going to take it straight over there to try to get it to pass inspection. But before we do that, I am going to still look at the brakes because it's still possible that it could fail because the brakes are kind of still locking up in a weird way. So that's what we're doing next. Current working theory. I think I have it all done right. I have been all over. I have checked. Everything here looks right. Everything checks out. There was one thing that stood out to me when I first put these guys together that I thought was weird. I just didn't do anything about it because I figured, oh, must be the way these come now. When I bought this kit, these drums were painted. And that's not always abnormal to get drums that are painted. I haven't seen before was they were painted on the inside. So the mating surface, you can see right there, the mating surface was painted. So I think what may have happened is I think that
these pads are contaminated from that paint getting on there and making it kind of sticky, grippy. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take some of this brake cleaner and I'm going to liberally apply it directly to the pads. I'm going to clean the braking surface off of the drum, reassemble it, readjust it. I'm going to adjust it a little bit tight so that it will drag a little bit and hopefully maybe glaze or burn the pads a little bit, so that if there is any residual debris or contamination, maybe we get it really hot and burn it off or make it worse. I don't know. That's kind of my theory right now. I'm at a loss to figure out why these would be behaving the way they are. They're working just a little bit too much sometimes. So, spray it down, clean it up, put it back together, take it for a test drive. Here we go. I wouldn't normally spray right on the mating surface like that. Although it's not a bad thing to do, I wouldn't normally do that. I would just avoid getting it dirty and oily or anything kind of contaminants on it. But in this case, I don't know, I'm guessing maybe that's the thing. I'm going to adjust it now with the special little angled doohickey here, and then we'll try it out. I don't know. I've never had brakes work like this, so it is kind of a new experience for me. Come on, where are we? Okay, we either made it better, made it worse, or it didn't change a thing, but we did something. I won't say inconclusive results, but I think we're wavering between it made no difference and it made it worse. I did it to both sides. The side that was locking up more is still locking up. However, now there's a weird thing where even when it's driving, it has like a rev to it or a pulse to it. I think it's from this back corner, and I'm wondering if something is out of round because I tightened them up so that they're dragging all the time now, or they should be. It's now like it's like a thump, and I'm wondering if the axle is bent. I can test that. But I don't know. I'm going to keep trying at it. It's drivable, but it's not safe to hand off to a teenage girl. No offense, Mara. We'll keep going. Come back. I'm not going to post this video until I have the readiness monitor set. So I don't know when it's going to be that you're going to watch this, but we're going to keep working on it. But that's it for tonight. See you guys in a minute. Well, it really has been a minute. It's a few days, week. I don't know how much later it is. Got a lot of other stuff going on. I've been driving it. I still have not gotten all the readiness monitors set. I have one that's missing, and it's because it's a catalyst readiness monitor. I'm going to try to get that tomorrow. There is a specified routine, and I haven't driven it on highway at steady speeds, and that's one of the things that you have to do to get them set. You have to go on like a 15-minute drive at a steady speed, stop, turn it off, turn it back on again, and then drive 15 minutes or more, basically have it time to drive and have it stop. And then, so I'm going to give it one more shot tomorrow before I try to take it in for inspection, even with them not set. That's probably not going to be very good. I'm probably going to fail, but I'm going to give it one more shot tomorrow. I think I can get it. I usually can, but oh well. Anyway, next thing I'm going to do right now, I'm going to switch the left and right drums and tires to see if the locking up changes sides. I think based on the results from our changes that we did last time, it stayed on the right side, but there's like a pulse thing now. So if I have a bent or warped brake drum on the passenger side and then move it to the driver's side and the driver's side locks up now, then that brake drum needs to be replaced. So that's the next thing I'm going to do. See how we do. Okay. I got curious while I was changing out the drums and tires and got out my dial indicator. So this guy right here is going to tell us if this flange is bent or if the axle shaft is bent. So I put it on there and I run it around. I don't know what level of tolerance I should be looking for here, but I think like that's pretty good. It stays between, I think that's 5 thou. Between those two, and I did that on this surface and on this surface so that it's like if it's out around this way or if it's out around that way, it doesn't seem to make a difference. Both sides have about the same amount of tolerance. They have about the same amount of out aroundness. There doesn't seem like there's not a smoking gun. So we're gonna put this drum was on that side, that drum, or this drum that was, I switched them. That's what I did. So well, I'm still fighting with this thing. I don't know if this is good or bad, but I used my dial indicator on the drums, and this is the worst of the two, but they're really within, no, this is the better of the two, but they're really within maybe, I guess that's 10 thousandths. But you can see that goes up to about 50. So that's how out around that is. I don't know what to think of it. The other one goes up to 60. This one goes up to 50. The other one goes up to 60. I don't know if that's bad or good. The old ones are all chucked. All the old drums, I just chucked them. I don't have any to compare it to. But they're similar side to side, and only one of them was really locking up. I don't know. We're going to keep going. I'm going to put it all together. I'm going to change the tire on either. So I'm going to put the tires on opposite side. I'm going to put the drums on opposite side, and we're going to see if it switches sides. We'll see. Well, I took it for another drive. Changing the wheels from one side to the other and the drums from one side to the other had no appreciable effect. So the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to change this or clean this proportioning valve. That proportioning valve on the inside of it looks like this. There is a rubber grommet thing there. There's an O-ring. There's a spring. And this thing slides. So we're gonna open it up and get in there. I'm not looking forward to this, but this is the next step because that's the only thing that I can think of that might be causing the disparity in the front to back braking. So here we go. We've got a bunch of rags, we've got a funnel thing, we got the can. Anything that comes out of here is really bad for this paint. So when we redid the engine bay, we repainted everything. I don't want any of this or that fluid anywhere on any of this, or else we'll lose our paint. So next step is to take this out, try to swap it out as quick as I can, get it as clean as I can with as little fluid coming out as possible, get it jammed back in there again. So wish me luck. Here we go. All right, now obviously I still need to bleed the brakes after I did that, but the old one didn't look too bad. It was pretty gummed up and gunky, but I don't see anything obviously wrong with it. It probably was still working. I was expecting more junk to come out of there than did. The springs were about the same strength, and everything else seemed like it was in good working order, so I don't think, again, no smoking gun. But that's it for now. I'm gonna do the bleed and then see what happens. Well, I just got back, took it for a test drive, and it's worse. Changed the proportioning valve, bled out the rear brakes. The rear brakes are actually more effective now. So I wouldn't say much, not much worse, but they definitely, it's not better. But it's definitely worse, because now it, like, even on light braking on gravel, it's locking up. So I'm gonna pause. I'm gonna come back to it. Maybe it's the master cylinder. I'm gonna try rebleeding the brakes again, but still haven't got it. Happy Sunday. Just got in here to try to take Betsy out for a trip to get the readiness monitor set, and wouldn't you believe it, it cleared pretty quickly. We're okay. Let's see if I can get this guy up here. So now we have all of our readiness monitors are clear. So run that one more time. We are good to go. So that means I'm ready to take it over for inspection. So I'm going to stop driving it, call them tomorrow, set up an appointment. Now the one thing I do have to do still this afternoon, the turn signals have gotten a little bit funky on us. When we put those in a couple videos ago, you can look in the playlist and try and find when we did the front end on this, but I did have a couple of sockets in the front lights that were a little bit tricky. So I ordered some new ones just because of that. We jiggle them around, they start working. So I'm going to pull those back apart real quick and put the new sockets in, and then it should be ready to go get inspection. And as long as they don't fail me because the brakes are a little bit touchy, we should be good to go. If they fail me because of the brakes, I might just ask them to help me troubleshoot that problem, because I am not sure what's going on. But I'll get these lights taken care of and we're ready to go. So we got some loose connections. That's not operating right. This is what we're dealing with here. I think this was one of the ones that was broken. I think that's one of the ones that was having the flashy, no flashy thing. These should be a replacement product. Cheap Amazon replacement from Amazon. Can't really vouch for them, but we'll see how they work right now. It's basically the whole socket. It plugs in the back. Now some of these, the little clippies here are broken, so I don't think this one is. side looks okay. I think the other side is, but we'll take these guys, we'll put it in there, we'll put the bulbs in them, and those contacts should be good. I will leave a link to these in the description below. It would be an Amazon link, so it throws some money. Actually, I haven't gotten any money from that yet, but it would throw some money into an account that may eventually get to the channel here and help me out. So all I got to do to change them is take this back part here and unclip it. This guy right here has a little clip there. Push that in there, flip over to this side, push that in there, and you hear it kind of like click a little bit, and then you can, oh, gotta watch that. It likes to go back in. And then you can go back to this side. And that, just kind of work that back and forth. It's a pretty tight fit, and it doesn't want to come out real easily, but we can get it out like that. And then we have the raw adapter that goes in. So I like to put some grease on that. So I've got me some dielectric grease, a little bit on the end there so it'll hit the contacts, and then take our new guy, which is angled. It shouldn't make a difference, it just might mean that the wire comes over here a little bit, but there's a little notch thing in there to ensure that it goes in the right way, and then click that right back in there. Put our bulb in it. Click that in there. And then we're going to do the same thing over here. I'm going to go ahead and replace both of them while I'm in here. Come on. There we go. Well, that one's already got grease in there, so I've been here before. That's right, I was here before for sure. Click that in there. Put our bulb in. And we got both of them. Alright. Right side. Left side should be good to go. No running lights or brake lights over here. Oh, there's a running light. Oh. We might have to do something about that. Well, we have all the bulbs now. We have the running lights, marker lights, headlights. The one in the back here was actually a bad bulb. So this bulb, the filament had burned out. I pulled it apart, real easy to tell. That's done, that's done. I tested this third brake light, that works. Then we have all the turn signals, so everything should be working the way that it should be now. So I can turn this off. We did this once before, but you know, sometimes when you have old junk, driving it shakes out some new stuff. So we have bulb, 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 bulb. Got the back, got the back. It is, I think it is ready for inspection. So that's what we're gonna do next. I will see you guys. It might be a couple of days because I've got to call them tomorrow. Got to get it scheduled, and as soon as I can get it in, I'm gonna get it in. We got the readiness monitor set. We got working lights. The brakes are sort of probably there. There's no rust holes that are visible. We should be able to get it inspected and driving. See you guys when we're done. It is a couple weeks later, maybe 2 weeks. We can have. I'm really not sure. As usual, I have lost track of time. However, pretty exciting things have been happening, and not just to the dog, but to us too. So, this is what we're up against here. We are up against. Yep. She's got stickers. So, Betsy Ross is out on the streets. She is legal to drive. And, at least for now, we're going to drive it. We're going to work the kinks out of it. What I would call a success. We got the emissions done. We got the safety inspection done all in one swoop. The brakes are still a little bit weird, but I really think we're going to drive it, see how that works out. But that is it for this video. Thank you so much for watching. Thanks for stopping out to the shop. Until next time, I'll be in the shop. See you then.